He's a killer clown, a crime lord, and an actor with a worrying knack for making kids cry. That's right, nobody sleeps when Bill Skarsgård is around. International assassin John Wick is one of the fiercest fighters in all of cinema, and that means he needs equally powerful enemies to challenge him. In the latest installment of the franchise, John Wick Chapter 4, the titular assassin will face off against his most fearsome foe yet, the Marquis, a vicious bureaucrat who wields red tape like Wick wields fists. The Marquis is like the world's most menacing middle manager, a part of the powerful hierarchy known as the High Table that controls the world of assassins. Wick hasn't been on good terms with the High Table since John Wick Chapter 2, forcing a serious conflict of interest between him and the Marquis. And who better to play this corporate creep than one of the freakiest thespians to hit the silver screen in years, Bill Skarsgård. The actor's biggest claim to fame is playing Pennywise the Dancing Clown in Andy Muschietti's It films, in which he notoriously terrified co-star Bill Hader with his ability to move his pupils in opposite directions. That's not the first time that the Swedish actor has freaked out his co-stars, however, which makes his turn as the malevolent Marquis that much more fun. Skarsgård's villainous characters over the years have all been pretty wildly different, but the fabulously dressed French-accented Marquis might truly be the most terrifying of them all. If anyone knows villains, it's veteran actor Ian McShane, who stars in the John Wick franchise as Winston, the manager of the New York Continental Hotel. In an interview with Screen Rant, McShane joked how the Marquis' menace is drawn from the man who plays him. He said, "He's 6'5", he wears appalling suits, he's Swedish, and he speaks 19 languages. And he's one Skarsgård and he's got 1,000 brothers. No, I love Bill. I think Bill is great in the movie, Crazy as a Loon." McShane seems pretty unbothered about the whole thing, but maybe the star of the action sequel has had enough experience playing pretend in the world of international assassins to not bat an eye at a man like Bill Skarsgård. Other co-stars who have acted alongside him haven't been quite as hardened to his spooky skills, however, and he has managed to freak out more than a few of them. Pennywise is one of horror's most frightening villains, and Bill Skarsgård portrayed him perfectly in Andy Muschietti's It film adaptations. Pennywise is a shape-shifting extraterrestrial entity who takes the form of people's nightmares. He is best known for taking the shape of a creepy killer clown. While the actor seems perfectly pleasant in interviews, many of his co-stars in the two films were unsettled just by sharing a set. On Good Morning America, It Chapter 2 co-star James McAvoy shared just how much the actor managed to freak out his fellow thespians. "I remember standing there with the rest of the cast, all these adults, and we'd all done weird, freaky stuff. And we are all looking at each other going, I don't like being here. I don't like being an actor today."
I had the same nightmare twice, and it was Bill as Pennywise lying in bed beside me, like stroking my neck and stroking my back.
McAvoy went on to admit that while he doesn't like clowns much anyway, Skarsgård really freaked him out. The fact that McAvoy has starred in all kinds of horrific stuff before, and yet still found Skarsgård unnerving, is genuinely impressive. The Swedish actor's adult co-stars weren't the only ones who found him fearsome, however, as he also terrified the child stars of It. In an interview with his older brother and fellow actor Alexander, published in Interview magazine, Bill Skarsgård revealed that he really upset at least one of his kiddie co-stars on the set of the first It movie. He revealed, "I saw the reaction that these kids had. Some of them were really intrigued, but some couldn't look at me, and some were shaking. This one kid started crying." As it turned out, Skarsgård himself wasn't too fond of terrifying these children. He continued, "Some of these kids got terrified and started to cry in the middle of the take. And then I realized, holy what am I doing? What is this? This is horrible." Thankfully, not all of the child actors in the film were bothered by his performance. For example, Jack Dylan Grazer, who plays Losers Club member Eddie, would compliment Skarsgård on his acting as soon as he heard cut. Pennywise has stuck with Bill Skarsgård even though the movies themselves are over. There are subtle remnants of his It role, such as his part in the horror film Barbarian. Then there are the co-stars who lose their minds when they learn that they're performing with Pennywise. In an interview with Ryan Johnson for Interview magazine, The Devil All the Time director Antonio Campos revealed that young actor Michael Banks Repeta reacted pretty strongly to finding out his co-star had played Pennywise. Apparently, Campos went over a scary scene with Repeta and his mother when he learned that the only thing Banks was afraid of was, you guessed it, Pennywise. Shocked, Campos told Skarsgård not to say anything to the young actor, who hadn't pieced together who he was acting with. Campos explained, "And Bill is like, oh my god, I'm totally going to tell him. So the day that we were shooting that scene, Bill was like, they don't think you can know this, but I know you're a smart kid. I'm the clown in It." You can probably guess where this is going. Banks reacted calmly to begin with, sure, but things quickly unraveled. Campos continued, "I don't know if this is connected, but in the middle of that scene, Banks just burst into tears way before he was supposed to. I think that somehow really got to him." Whether he's making children cry or scaring the living daylights out of his adult co-stars, one thing is for sure, Bill Skarsgård sure is terrifying.